everyone, welcome back. I am the book guy. This is my lovely wife, Kit, the book gal.
We can't stop laughing.
Are you okay?
It's fine.
We've been goofing off so much in preparation. Yeah. We're just in the giggles. We're good?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Come on, man, be professional. Okay, look, this is a happy video today. This is a celebration video. We're going to celebrate a couple of milestones that we've had on the channel. One of the things they tell you when you get into the YouTube game is that you don't do it to make friends. Sorry, but they tell you, and quite accurately, that the work never ends. It's like, pushing a boulder up the hill. It never stops. And so one of the things I'm trying to do today is to not go from one work project to the next, but to actually stop and be like, you know what? We've had a few wins. Let's do a little celebration. Let's be happy about it. Appreciate some joys. Look, I just want to show my therapist this video and be like, see? Yes.
We'll send her the link.
Yeah. It's not passive aggressive at all. I win at therapy.
That's right.
Anyway, so Kit, what are some of the victories we've had on the Book Guide channel?
Well, the first most amazing victory is the 2-year anniversary of your first video.
Whew, wow. That's exciting. 2 years, hey. Yeah. I was looking at my first video. It was a Wheel of Time video, and it's a tad rough, but your first video is always going to be rough. The definition wasn't right, the audio wasn't great, my delivery was very nervous.
You had to record it twice too, didn't you?
I did record that one twice, because I stuffed it up the first time. I actually attempted to record that one once without using a script, and that's when I was like, you know what, scripts are my thing. Because I don't want to do a book review like everyone else is doing. I want it to be like a book analysis. I want it to go a bit deeper and offer some insights.
Yeah.
Not just say what everyone else is saying about it, So the scripts will work. I like my scripts. But yeah, time consuming, but we'll get to that. Yeah. But yeah, 2 years.
Yeah, 2 years.
2
and
years.
I think
It's
I last
fantastic.
checked like 91 videos or something.
Yeah, 91 videos. I'm not sure how many of those are book reviews. Tell you what, we're going to put it on the screen. Now.
I love doing stuff like that because then it's your problem to fix it in post.
Yeah.
I can just be like,
But we did it at completely different times.
you'll fix it in post.
You can't fix... it's fine. Okay, what other milestone have you had recently?
Yeah.
So 2 years.
2-year anniversary, you have now hit over 1 million views.
Hey, 1 million views. That's a good one.
That's is awesome. And 25,000 subscribers.
Good Lord.
In 2 years. Not everybody here is in the booktube sphere and understands exactly how impressive that is, but you have achieved in 2 years what takes most other people 5+ years to achieve. So we're going to just take a moment to pat you on the back because it's not luck.
Yeah.
You have worked really hard and you have created really good content and you absolutely deserve this.
Aw, you're my biggest fan.
Yeah.
I'm realizing now why I don't do these sorts of videos very often because it's so uncomfortable.
It's so awkward, yeah.
I do not like receiving praise. It feels like a trap. But no, thank you. But no, you're right. Look, I will admit that. I know that there are... I'm friends with other YouTubers who are really good at what they do. They're very smart, very wise, and they do good quality content, but they haven't seen as much growth as I have for various reasons, So it's... I do definitely feel a lot of gratitude for that. Yeah. And, 1 million views, that's also really good. How do I explain? So I want to explain some YouTube statistics. But normally, I don't know the exact numbers, but the view to subscriber ratio is normally a lot lower than 1 million views to 25,000 subscribers. Mm-hmm. So I have more people who watch my stuff and then want to watch it again. That's pretty cool. So... I don't know. I really appreciate you guys.
Yeah, we had an email the other day. No, I had an email the other day from a Kickstarter backer who we were sorting out some stuff because they'd moved house and had to change their address. But he said to say hi to you and to let you know that he's watched some of your videos upwards of 10 times.
Oh, wow.
Because it's just like a comfort listen to have somebody chatting in the background.
Oh.
And it's, we're just blown away by that. And that is so amazing. So thank you everybody who watches the videos. And then those of you who rewatch is just incredible.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's really awesome. You have the best subscribers on the internet. I
think I do, hey.
I think there's a lot of corners of the internet that are not nice and can be toxic, like even in BookTube.
Really? On the internet?
I know. But we feel so incredibly grateful to have the Book Guy community on YouTube. You are all such lovely human beings, and it's just a real privilege to get to interact with you and to attract such positive, lovely people who love reading books.
Very true. No, we have a safe place, you know, and I'm very proud of that.
I really wish, like, the majority of you are overseas. We're obviously in Brisbane, Australia. But I really...
Brisbane, Australia? Do you want our home address as well?
We're in Australia.
Now they know we live in Brisbane.
They already know that. Anyway. But...
Sorry.
It makes me sad that everyone's, like, all over the world, because I just wish that we could all, like, hang out in person and talk about books. Like, it would just be so much fun.
Yeah, that'd be pretty great.
Yeah, a party with lots of introvert corners where we can just go sit and read and not
wave
interact
at each other
with people.
across the room.
Yeah, that's my idea of a party. Not having to talk to anybody. But there's snacks.
Oh, yeah,
and
snacks are good. Look, okay, moving on. What else we got?
Back on track.
So 2 years anniversary, 1 million views, and 25,000 subscribers.
Yes, your other big thing is you have launched 3 books successfully.
Yes, book launch. Oh, man. You're right. That's a big deal. You know, one of the big goals with starting the channel in the first place was to do a book launch. I thought I'd be starting that process around the 2 or 3 year mark, let alone I'm actually at the 2 year mark and the books are out.
Yeah.
That's pretty good, right?
Yeah.
That's a pretty special thing. Yeah.
Also, never again.
Never again 3 books at once. Never again. Good Lord.
It was not a fun time.
Hey, I'm a delight.
Yeah. No, I didn't even have to do the work, and it wasn't a fun time, you know?
You did a fair bit of the work, actually. Kit basically ran the Kickstarter. I fully intended to write the books and run the Kickstarter, but then writing and editing the books took so much longer than I expected, just because I wanted to do the correct number of rounds of edits. Yeah. You know, I wanted to do it properly. Yeah. You know, I didn't want to cut any corners. Spared no expense. That's the line I'm thinking of.
Yes.
But Kit had to step up and basically do the whole Kickstarter top to bottom, and only getting, like, basically you'd come to me and be like, can you approve this decision?
Yeah.
That was like the extent of my involvement. So yeah, real.
But that's, you know, thank you. But yeah.
See, how does it feel when you get praised on camera? It's awkward, isn't it? Yeah.
I don't like it.
Wow, I just turned praise into a
product design and fulfillment and manufacturing and stuff is my wheelhouse. So, you know, that just made sense for our skill sets.
Pass me that box set. Yeah. So this is the box set that people got through the Kickstarter, and I'm really happy with it because we got a cover on the front that incorporates the 3 images on the on the individual book covers, and it's in this neat little box set. Very excited for it. But this is just the demo version I have in my hand. We're waiting for the box set to arrive, and then we'll ship it out to all the people who backed in the Kickstarter. I'm so excited for that.
Yeah.
But sorry, I probably jumped ahead. I really like the box.
We'll get to a Kickstarter update shortly.
Okay. Yes.
And your other thing that we are celebrating is that you have hired your first person.
I do. I'm a boss now.
I mean, you've always been bossy, but...
Oh, look.
It's not true. I'm the bossy one.
Yes. Yeah. Wow, I had so many thoughts come through at once and I just stopped speaking entirely. You are the bossy one, Miss Bossy Pants. You're not bossy. You have leadership skills.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And if you
Good little feminist.
So you're going to mess up my hair. Oh my gosh. No, pop it on the corner if you don't mind. Yeah. Yeah, that's the good stuff right there. Yeah. So I love box sets, and it's such a good box set. Sorry, what were we talking about? I've hired someone. Yeah, no. So if you guys look on my channel, you know the little icon, the book guy cartoon icon with the
Your
blue.
Avatar.
Yeah, my avatar. Yeah. So that was done by a good friend of ours, and I've since just this week actually hired her to start doing ongoing work, which is such a relief because there's a lot of work to be done. Yes. Were we going to say her name? I wasn't going to say her name.
You can say her name.
I haven't approved this with her. Like,
Hi, redacted.
Yeah, do you want to give out her address as well? Anyway, look, my point is, it's really exciting. We're sort of like, we're both figuring out what the role is at the moment. We're transitioning. I'm hoping we'll get up to the stage where, like, she's helping me with my social media and helping me with my video editing. But, you know, we're trialing it at the moment, but it's so exciting. I could really use the help because I work a lot of hours, and I could do with working less hours. So very excited. This is the start of big things.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I think any business owner hits that point where it starts to make sense to be spending money on getting help and upgrading systems and things so that your time is better spent on the things that only you can do.
That's right. You spend money to save time.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And the things that only you can do are writing your scripts and writing your books and reading the books and things. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. So
hopefully freeing up that time to do those sorts of things.
Yeah. Great. Was that all the announcements?
Yeah, that's all our announcements.
Okay, so what's happening next?
So next we're going to do a quick Kickstarter update.
Okay.
So for those of you who have followed the Kickstarter, we do post an update on the official website every month, but also just to let everyone know, all the ebooks have been sent out. All of the physical paperbacks and hardcovers that are unsigned have been sent out. The only thing that people are waiting on now is these box sets and the merch boxes that come with the box set, and a whole bunch of cool products that I have designed that I'm really excited for you to all get because they're so much fun.
Yeah, it's really great because we got all the products in hand. We are literally just waiting for the case for all the books.
Yeah.
That took a little bit longer than we expected. But like, everything's ready to go. We're ready to go. We're ready to post them. And
basically as soon as these boxes show up, we will be printing out the shipping labels. Everyone will be you'll get an automatic email from Australia Post when your shipping label has been created, and then obviously we'll do Kickstarter updates to let people know stuff's is going out. And these will all be signed by the author. So that's very exciting.
Yeah.
And the other big Kickstarter update is
audiobooks. Okay, so I've just had like the best week. If you follow me on Instagram, you would have seen, but I got audiobook 1 back from the narrator this week. And he was like, can you listen to it and sign off it and give me final approval? And I listened to the whole thing, and it was just incredible. I'm so happy with it.
Angus did such a good
Angus
job.
is incredible. Yeah. He's so good. So Angus, because the books primarily are set in the UK, I wanted someone who can do all the UK accents and all the individual dialects for the different regions. And oh my goodness, he's nailed every single one. Every single one. And he put so much effort into it too. We went back and forth in emails trying to get each individual character right. He's like, for this character I'm picturing Northern. I'm like, I hadn't pictured Northern. And then we negotiated, and we found a balance for everyone. But he's just incredible. The best thing, this is the thing that I was really worried about audiobooks, like, not to brag, but I have a lot of jokes in my book. And I was worried they would get misdelivered. But not a single one was delivered wrong. He got every single joke.
He nailed the timing and the
absolutely.
tone of the humour in the book, which, side note, is one of the reasons why proper people doing audio narrations of books are so important. There's been a rise in people using AI voices to narrate their books, which just don't support that. If something's been narrated by an AI voice, just don't. Because that AI voice has been trained and stolen from actual narrators that they...
You tell them, babe.
...illegally take... They illegally take samples of their work to develop the AI program. It's not cool.
And it's taking jobs.
Yeah,
that's exactly what it is.
Taking jobs away.
Artists are already struggling to find work as it is. Don't take jobs away from artists. Take jobs away from billionaires, damn it. They don't need them.
Yeah.
They don't even have one anyway. And CEOs. Damn CEOs.
Okay.
Free Luigi.
We're tangenting. Anyway, we're tangenting into an anti-capitalist rant, which, to be honest, does happen pretty often with us.
What? So, why are you making stuff up?
We may have to cut that bit. Anyway,
well, I love it. I stand by it.
But Angus has done a phenomenal job, and it's one I'm very passionate about this because I think one of the things that is the human aspect
Yes.
aspect of narrating, is nailing the humor and the funny bits and the emotional bits and stuff that technology will never be able to replicate.
Yes.
And yeah, Angus has just done a phenomenal job. We are so excited to share this. And Michael has already shared a snippet of chapter 1 on his Patreon.
Yes.
So
good call. Yes.
If you're one of the patrons, you can go check that out there. And we may eventually share a snippet of that on the Kickstarter updates as well.
That's exactly right, yeah. When listening to the audiobook, he got all the jokes right. He also got all the villains right, which was a big deal. I don't want to brag, but some of my villains are pretty damn villainous, you know? And I got chills listening to some of their megamaniacal rants. I was like, oh, yes, he's got it. This guy does evil well. It was so exciting. But yeah, so the whole thing is we're just doing final checks on that. We're actually hoping that'll be ready in the next week or two, and then we can give it out early to the Kickstarter backers. So if you bought the audiobooks, you might be able to get audiobook 1 very soon. We're just figuring out timings at the moment. Then we're going to go straight into production for audiobooks 2 and 3. And once they're out and the Kickstarter has been fulfilled, we will then, put them up for sale. We're not sure when they're going to go on sale. I'm sort of hoping late June, maybe early July. But
I think July is a bit more likely.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah. Because when we told it to our narrator, he's like, "Oh yeah, I'll pump them out real quick." But he's also got such attention to detail, which is the right way to do it. We want to record these once and get them perfect the first time. So that's sort of the goal. So they'll be done when they're perfect. That's sort of the takeaway. But they're happening. And yeah, they're happening so well. I just couldn't be happier. Just the whole reason we wanted to do the Kickstarter was to crowdfund audiobooks. Because so many indie authors can't afford audiobooks. And if they do, they're doing them really cheap. And they're taking years to put them into effect. I wanted to get them out there as soon as possible. And the Kickstarter worked. And the audiobooks worked. And it all came together and my dream came true.
Oh yeah. It's all coming together.
Yeah. Okay, so I've ranted about that enough. What else is happening? So that was the Kickstarter update. Was that the full thing?
Yeah, I think that was the full Kickstarter update.
Okay.
So basically everything is on schedule based on the timeline that we started with for the Kickstarter. So yeah, we'll continue posting updates about that. Oh, although it's probably worth mentioning, if you didn't back the Kickstarter, you can buy the books on Amazon and Kobo and Booktopia.
There's a link in the description. You can follow through
places
to my website. There's lots of options there.
Yeah, so the ebooks and the physical copies are available everywhere while we're continuing to fill the box sets and things for the Kickstarter,
Okay,
which is exciting.
Move on.
Okay, so we're moving on. All right, now it's port time.
Okay. So this is a really exciting story I want to share with you. I don't know, a little bit of a personal story, but basically, back in 2019, Kit and I were fortunate enough to travel around Europe, and when we were in Portugal, we went to the city of Porto. And naturally, us loving puns so much, we thought it was amazing that port comes from Porto in Portugal, and the city of Porto is a port.
It's very important to know that.
And so for literally that reason and no others, we bought some port in the port of Porto.
In the port of Porto in Portugal.
Oh, it's a Dr. Zeus book in the making, isn't it? But this is where it gets a bit funny. So if you hold it up to the camera, because it's currently blocked, we bought a set, and one of the things we told ourselves is that these would be little celebration things, that we would bust it open every time we had a big win in life. And it has been over 6 years, and the only one that's missing is one we gave to a friend.
Yeah. Hey, Sam.
Yeah, right. Oh man! So what we're gonna actually do is we are gonna celebrate properly. We're gonna acknowledge that we've made a lot of big progress on the channel and with the book launch, and we've done a lot of work and we've come really far, And rather than continuing to work on the next project or getting audiobooks out and working on the next weekly video, we're actually gonna stop. We're gonna pause and we're gonna say, "This is good. Things are good. We're doing well." So, Kit, would you like to summon some glasses?
Yep. All right. You ready?
Yes. Wow, that was amazing.
I've always wanted to do that. That's going to look so bad. Okay.
What are our options? Do you want to just like pick one at random? Look, we don't drink port, so we can read out the names, but they won't mean anything to us. So what do you just say you grab that one?
There's white port.
Sounds great.
Acidical.
That also
ruby
sounds great.
Port.
Oh wow, amazing.
Reserve port.
Amazing. Sorry.
Let's go for some white port.
And as you can see, we have our port glasses, which are literally just wine glasses. We're not that prepared for it. As you can see, we don't drink much. Okay.
It's so tiny.
Yeah, it's so tiny, isn't it? You can do this, right? I believe in you. Come on. Oh, okay. It's my own fault for believing. That was so easy. You know, I'm wondering now if we shouldn't have like had some, I don't know, dark chocolate or something. What goes with port? Ships. Docks.
Well, I married you.
Yes, you did.
Right.
And
Yeah.
you had advance warning. Hey,
I did.
you knew I was going to be like this. Thanks, darling.
Great
Love
job.
you.
You've achieved so much. I'm really proud of you.
Thank you. Okay. Really proud of you too. I hope this... Oh, wow. That's got a kick to it. It's good.
It is good. That's really smooth. It's got like a honey aftertaste. All right. So next up, we're going to tackle some frequently asked questions on the channel.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I do try really hard to read all the comments, but we get a lot of the same comments over and over again. So I thought we'd actually address a couple of these very common questions about what goes on behind the scenes. What I do in the background, what Kit does in the background, how it all works together. So Kit, what is our first most common question?
Most common question is a lot of people ask how much you read. And also kind of like how you read so much. Yeah,
that's a fair question. Because a common thing that happens all the time is people are like, oh, you did a video this week that did an 8-book series. Did you read all 8 books this week? No. I would hope that's clear, but that comes up a lot.
Yeah. Don't try to keep up with his, like, what he's reading in each video. It's not possible.
No. And the thing is, like, when I make a video that week, I spend my time that week making the video, not reading the books. Look, the general rule is I read quite irregularly, which might surprise a few people. It really does depend on my work schedule. If I've got a busy week, I read less books. It's quite that simple. And you can really tell by just looking at how long the videos are. Like the scripted, highly edited video. So like if it's a 30 minutes or more, I did not read that much that week. If it's 20 minutes or less, then I had a really good reading week that week. But generally speaking, I think it averages out to about 3 books a week. Yeah. Which I think is going to surprise a lot of people that it's not more. But you know what? This is actually a really good point. I'll clarify this too. So there is a little bit of a backlog because the channel's 2 years old, but I generally cover books that I've read in the last 4 or 5 years. But that is also a rule. If it's been more than 5 years, I reread it before I cover it, you know, just to make sure that I'm up to date with it. Yeah. And you know what? I'm going to rant about this just for a second because remembering what you read is a huge part of literacy that people don't talk about. People assume all the time that literacy means your ability to read words, but that's not the whole picture. There are 3 ways you measure literacy: the ability to read the words, the ability to comprehend them,
and retain them.
That's exactly right.
I remembered that from last time you said it.
Yes, look, I rant about these things a lot.
No, I mean, like, I retained what you said.
But no, like, comprehending literacy, that happens all the time. Like, how often do you write a comment on the internet and someone replies and it's clear that they didn't comprehend anything you said? This used to happen in like, you know, the corporate workplace in the office. You'd send an email and someone would write back and it's clear they didn't understand anything you just said, even though you wrote 2 sentences. And you're like, how are you making twice as much money as I am? This is completely ridiculous, right? But like, genuinely, this is a big thing, that I retain the information I read. There was a couple times in like the early days of my channel, if I wanted to review a book that I read 2 years ago or 3 years ago, I would try to reread it and then I'd be like, oh, I remember all of this still, you know?
You do have really good retention of, I mean, just stuff in general. Like, you remember movies and things really well because you have such an analytical mind. When you watch them, you're always thinking about why they work.
Look, there's a lot of things that I wish I did remember better, such as important anniversaries and family names.
Oh, what are you talking about? You remembered your 2-year YouTube anniversary.
That's my anniversary. That doesn't count. But yeah, so the point is that I do read about 3 books a week. And I do remember the books that I've read in the past. And if it's been longer than 5 years, I reread them just in case. That's sort of the general rule. Okay, well, what's the next question? What's the next most common question?
It's
about schedule, isn't it?
Next one is, how do you choose which books you're going to review?
Oh, yes. I'm actually really excited to share this one. This comes up a lot, and I think I'd really appreciate more people knowing what happens in the background. So when I'm choosing what to read and then what to schedule for a YouTube video, the fundamental principle has to be reading at my own rate. Because for me, it's always about loving what I'm reading and never feeling like I'm obligated or turning reading into work. Because you see it all the time that there are always going to be a bunch of booktubers who go into reading slumps or just like get sick of it and need a break. It happens all the time. Yeah. It doesn't happen to me because I never let anyone else determine what I'm reading.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, I really like John from Talking Story, just in general. Love John, he's amazing. John does this amazing little thing where he offers treats to his dog, and whichever treat the dog eats, that's corresponding book is the one he reads that week. Which...
That's a really good idea.
It's kind of cute, isn't it?
I mean...
But I could never do that. I could never let someone else make that decision.
Yeah.
That's a big part of it, yeah. But yeah, so what happens is a lot of the times you guys will recommend a book to me. In the comments, you'll just be like, are you going to review this one? I will go and look up reviews. I'll look at the cover, read the synopsis. If I think it looks good, I'll add it to a list. I literally have a list of new authors on my computer. It's about 2.5 pages long. It's a Word document. Kit hates it because I don't use an Excel sheet, which would be so much more organized. Did you know all the fonts are different too?
It's not even color-coded, guys.
Why would it need to be color-coded? It's an unofficial document.
My spreadsheet people will understand.
So anyway, so I've got a list of all the new authors I want to try, because there's a lot of them and I do keep track of them. Whenever I pick a new book to read, sometimes it'll be from that list. Every once in a while it'll just be organic. I want to drop everything and read that now. There's got to have that spontaneity there. Once I read it, if I like it, I then put it onto my YouTube schedule list, which is books that I've read, I liked enough to review them, and I'll talk about them at some point. And then what I do is when I realize that there's a certain pile of them in a certain category, then I group them together into a monthly schedule. So at the moment, I've got 5 young adult books on series that I've read and are waiting for me to review, so I've got enough for a young adult month again sometime. I had a sci-fi month build up again. So it's once I've got a good list of them, I put them on my Patreon, and I actually said, guys, here's 6 or 7 books all in one group. Vote for the ones you'd like the best, and then I'll review them. Mm-hmm. So that's actually how it works. That's how I pick my schedule. But it's got to be based around what I'm actually going to love reading. That's the most important thing.
Yep. Yeah. So if you want to be able to vote, you can sign up on Patreon, and it's from, I think, $2 American a month, is the cheapest one. It's pretty affordable. And then you get to have a say.
I couldn't tell you how much it is, but yes, that is true.
Well, I know it's $3.50 Australian, I think, which is, it's like $2 American.
Have you encountered tariffs?
We're not even going to start talking about that. All right.
I'll just add on to the end of that. A lot of people, this happens all the time. Every time I start a new monthly theme, I'll be like, hi guys, welcome to Middle Grade March. I'll suddenly get 50 comments be like, oh, make sure you cover this series this month.
It's already been decided, guys.
Yes, it was decided months ago. I really do schedule far in advance. I'm currently trying to schedule July. That's how far ahead I am. So, while I do definitely appreciate those comments and suggestions, and I look up the books and I add them to my list, that sort of starts the process from the top again. They don't immediately jump up to, I'll read them this week and review them on Friday. That's just, it takes a little bit more time than that. That's all. Yeah. All right, what next?
Next question is, why are you always so positive in your reviews?
Ooh, good question. I told you to ask me earlier. This is why I don't do live very often. I break down and giggle at myself. Okay, so, sorry. Why am I so positive? Okay, 2 reasons. First of all, a big goal of the channel is to improve people's literacy. I actually want to get more people reading. I don't think negativity inspires people, And besides, there is so much negative content in BookTube. If you...
Oh, critical content.
Yeah, look, critical but negative. Yeah, there are people who criticize a book fairly and objectively, and there are those who just love to trash it as much as possible because that's entertaining. It's like watching a car crash or a dumpster fire. You know, it satisfies the macabre urge in all of us. But that doesn't get more people reading, and that's honestly one of my big goals. I want to have a positive impact on the world, and I think I can do that best by improving education and literacy. And to do that, you've got to actually create positive content that people want to be a part of. That's just a huge reason why I do it this way. But the second reason why am I so positive is because I only select books that I can be positive about. That's a big part of it too. Because if I read a book and I hate it, I don't do a book review on it. It's really that simple. But yeah, so I only review a book I can be positive about. If I read a book and I'm like, and I think to fairly review this book, I'm going to be more negative than positive, then I just won't do it. You know, I think there are very few times I have reviewed a book series where I had more negatives to share than positives. And even when I do it, I try to do it as constructively as possible. But literally, I don't just review every book I read. You know, I only review books I think I can give a positive review on. So that's how we do it. What's up? What's next?
Next question is, will you ever do a video on blank?
Yes. I think this is honestly the most common question we get, where people are like, I like this book series, when are you going to do this book series? Yes. Very common question. So look, I actually look at all of them. So we check comments a lot. We both comment monitor. It's one of the things Kit does on the channel. So if anyone ever says, check out this book series, I actually do. So I will go and, look it up online. I'll look at what the reviews are. I look at the synopsis. And if it genuinely looks like it's something I'm going to enjoy reading, I add it to my list. And that's when it goes on to, to the process where I will eventually read it, sort of thing. But I don't automatically review it just because it got a bunch of comments, I think next week I'm going to do a review on Sun Eater. And Sun Eater's been like one of the most frequently requested series, And again, even though I do get a lot of comments, I have to read what I like, so I got to do it at my own rate. But yeah, I definitely do listen to all of them. I hope that answers that. Yeah.
Yep. Then we want to ask the question, how long does it take you to make each video, and kind of what's the behind the scenes process of all of that?
That's a very important question. I remember I was talking to a friend, Matt, and he's like, oh, it wouldn't take you too long to make a video, about 4 or 5 hours in total. I was like, what?
Oh, you sweet summer child.
Yeah, and he's like, okay, so maybe 8 to 10 hours, because you just got to talk in front of the camera and then you edit it. It's not that. I'm like, no, it's a 40-hour job for most videos. Because I'm not just doing a book review, I'm trying to do a book analysis. Like a college-level analysis, so try to talk about themes, talk about what worked, try to deconstruct if there were problems, talk about how they might have been fixed. So there's a lot of thought that goes into it, because I don't just want to repeat what everyone else is saying about the book. That's a big thing. I try to think, what can I say that's unique about this? What unique insights can I give to this discussion? And a big part of it too is if you're a book reviewer, it's very easy to fall into the trap of literally just listing what the book had in it. Or just summarizing the plot. And that's really boring. But it's very easy to fall into that trap, and I think a lot of people do it. So my goal whenever I do a script is to really analyze it and really flesh it out. But I also do a lot of research. So I research like the author's bio, and I research publication history. And anytime there's something weird and interesting, I try to include that, because that's really interesting context. I think that helps people know if they want to read the book.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm thinking about, in 2 weeks' time, I'm doing the Foundation series.
Yeah.
Foundation has such a weird backstory. It's one of the weirdest backstories I've ever seen. I can't wait to discuss it. Yeah. It's going to take forever to do, though. But I love doing the backstories on videos. So there's a lot of research that goes into just the script writing. Yeah. But put it this way. We'll put it this way. So if I work on a scripted video, let's say it's Monday to Friday, right? Generally speaking, Monday's research, and I start writing. Tuesday's bulk of the writing. Wednesday is writing and filming. If I'm on time. Filming often happens Thursday, Friday. But filming is done in sort of like a 2-3 hour block. Lots of setup, hair and makeup, And when I film it, this is something that might be interesting to people. You know how I cut it all? You know, I do all the quick cuts. A lot of the times I'm literally just cutting out when I inhale. That way the words are back to back to back to back. And so a lot of people assume that I sit there and record one line at a time. And I don't. I actually do, you know, sort of read off the script and try to get it as much flow as possible and then just trim it so it's quicker. Because I want to keep that retention there, you know. Every once in a while I have a really tricky line that's got lots of long words and it's a long sentence and I get lost and it takes a few takes. But not so much anymore. But yeah, and then editing. Editing is where it is time consuming and it is a little bit monotonous and why I'm trying to hire someone to replace it. But it depends. A 20-minute video is usually about 8 hours of editing, which I'm sure someone could do quicker, but not this guy, you know? And the longer videos take forever. Like I know my Percy Jackson video, which was 55 minutes. That was nearly 3 days straight of editing. Like 3 full work days, like 10-hour days of editing. Yeah. That was a long one.
And I mean, for the record, he's also doing this while working a part-time job, trying to market his book and start writing the next book and being a part-time / full-time carer for me. So there's a lot on his plate.
I do care for you. Sorry.
I mean, like carer, not caring.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So there's a lot on, definitely. There's one other thing I was going to add to that. What was that? Yeah. So why do I go to all that effort? You know, because so many other reviewers would just like talk in front of a camera and do minimal edits. It's because I want to try to maximize your value for time. That's really what it comes down to. If you're going to spend 20 minutes watching one of my videos, I want you to learn as much as possible in that 20 minutes. So that's why I try to condense it and compact it. And I like to think it works. You know, that's why people watch what I do. But
and be entertained as
well.
Yeah,
and be entertained. Yeah, you know, look, I try to put jokes in there. They don't always work.
But that's kind of like giving people the real life experience of you.
All right, wife. You don't need to do that. That was a pretty good one, though. I do appreciate that. Okay. Are we nearly done with the questions, or is there much more? What's next?
Oh, so the sub-question of that was that we were going to talk about what I do in that process as well.
Yeah, so a lot of people ask, you know, what does Kit do behind the scenes? Does Kit do, like, half the videos? Does she do less than half? Like, what's your responsibilities, Kit?
To be honest, I think I do a lot less than people think I do. So I design the thumbnails because my trade is in graphic design. So I design them. I'll sometimes design graphics that go up on the screen. Can
I jump in? Sorry, the thumbnails are a huge deal. So you're going to skim over. I need to compliment you on camera. Yeah. Because honestly, thumbnails sell the video more than anything else. Honestly, I like to use the analogy of Steven Spielberg when he made Jaws. He's like, most of the success of the film is really owed to John Williams doing the dun 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 dun, dun little piano ditty, and it's true. Like John Williams sold that movie more than most. So like, I think a lot of the reasons why my videos get clicked on by new people is because Kit does really good thumbnails. She helps me brainstorm a good, catchy, clickbaity title. We you know, I will take a bunch of pictures of myself and send them to her with me doing different poses, and then she picks the pose that matches the right, clickbait title and everything. You know, she does a lot of effort into it. Also, the crazy thing is she does it in like 15 minutes. Just zip, 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 you know, just so talented.
5 minutes, but yeah.
Oh, right. It's one of those things where it's like you pay for the 8 years of expertise behind that 5 minutes, you know?
Wait, you're getting paid?
No.
Yeah, so I design the thumbnails. I occasionally will do a sensitivity watch if there's a segment that you want a second opinion on.
Yeah, am I getting too preachy here?
Yeah.
Am I getting too political? That's a common one, yeah.
That sort of thing. And just generally emotional support, which is the bulk of what I do.
Wow. No, so you're not just emotional support, which you absolutely are. I fully concede that. You are a sounding board. Because I often, I come out, you know, of my office and I'm like, Kit, I'm trying to say this book sucks. How do I do it politely? And as just talking it through to her, she, it helps make sense. You know, so a really good sounding board. And like that responsibility is very unpredictable. It can hit you at any time. You can be minding your own business. You can be in the bathroom. Kit, I got a question. Yeah, it's not great. But yeah, that's a lot of your responsibilities and Kickstarters, right?
Yeah, then obviously I ran am running all of the stuff behind the Kickstarter, packaging up everyone's orders, managing the logistics of that. I designed all of the products that are going in the merch box. So last question, what is coming up next for the Book Guide channel?
Ooh, okay. So we've got a couple of things coming up. One of the big things I'm really excited for is an experimental month. In May, I'm going to be doing more video essays. Now, I did some video essays last year in April and May, such as the Why Adults Don't Read, which is one of my favorite, my most proudest videos, talking about adult literacy rates. Also one that gets a lot of angry comments, being like, what do you mean I'm not illiterate? It's just like, you kind of are if you didn't comprehend it. Anyway, so I want to do some more video essays, but specifically, I've always wanted to touch on some topics that are really difficult to write. So we're going to start a new series called Writing Difficult Topics. And it's going to be all about things that are really complex in real life. How do you incorporate them into stories? And we've already announced this one on Patreon, so I'll just announce it here. We're going to do 2 videos. It's going to be a 2-parter. It's going to be how to write democracies and how to write propaganda. And it's going to be a deep dive into how democracies and propaganda have worked in the past, in history, how they work today in the world, and how you can incorporate them into stories, looking at other books and films and TV shows that incorporate those concepts, and talk about whether they're done accurately or inaccurately, and how that might be used in your story, you know? I'm really excited to do them. They're going to be a ton of work and a lot of research and a lot of editing. So it is going to be an experiment. If these videos get a crazy amount of views, then I will make more of them. If no one watches them, then I won't make more of them. It really is that simple. But that is actually something I am hoping... I'm testing the waters with this at the moment, because I would love to transition the channel just a little bit to incorporate more video essays. Because I love doing video essays, and it's something that I can do. I'd love to do book reviews and video essays that are maybe as much as 50-50, but again, we'll see. We'll see what people are watching. That's really the important thing. You know, it does have to be adaptable. So if it goes well, we'll do more of them. But yeah, book reviews will never go anywhere, for sure, you know. But I will admit, when I did the video essays last year, part of that was so I had a chance to catch up on my reading.
Side benefit of doing them.
Yeah, so it helps me keep up with content a little bit, because there's a lot of reading you got to do to keep up with content, and a video essay would be a great way to keep up with that. Yeah. So
I mean, it'll help you guys catch up on reading as well, because one of our favorite comments that we always get is when people are annoyed at you because you keep adding books to their TBR faster than they can get through them. That's like the biggest compliment. We always love seeing those.
I love it so much.
Yeah.
It's so good.
So it'll give you all a chance to catch up too.
I will say one other, like, sort of far off plan is I am plotting out the next book, obviously. So we've got 3 books out so far, and The Immortal Investigation is planning to be an ongoing series. I am sort of picturing 12 books in my head. And honestly, I'm saying 12 books because I could very easily see it snowballing into 20. So I'm putting a hard limit at 12 so I don't get carried away, because no one will read that many. But I have planned out huge portions of book 4. But I'm not writing it just yet. I've got to market my current ones. I've got to get the audiobooks out. I've got to get, all my stores set up, and I've got to try to get some more book reviews out there. So there's a bit of work to be done behind the scenes first, but book 4 is coming, and it's going to break everyone's hearts.
I was going to say, a lot of people are going to be angry at you after book 4. Yep.
What are you talking about? They'll love it. They'll love it.
Not going to say anything else.
You kind of did say something.
I'm already angry at you about it.
I know. It's actually fun taking into account, because like a lot of people have... One of the things in the Immortal Investigations is that I like to use the Game of Thrones analogy, where a lot of our characters are like Jon Snow, who think that they're going to be a good, noble, upstanding member of society, and then they join a society that is corrupt and broken. And I'm very proud of creating that in the modern world. But one of the bits of feedback I'm getting is people are thinking it was a little dark, but it wasn't dark enough. Or, it was...
Don't tempt him.
Yeah, you don't want to tempt me to go dark, because I am sort of censoring the darkness for YouTube and everything. But I do want to play around a little bit more with moral ambiguity. And the
Shades of grey.
Shades of grey, that's exactly right. And the difference between morally idealistic and morally practical. And I think that's going to be a major theme of book 4. And I'm very excited to sit down and do it, but it will just be a case of waiting until I have the time, unfortunately. But it's coming. It's in here. It's coming.
So the other thing planned for me doing on this channel is doing some more book hour videos. I do just want to say, because I'm sure somebody will ask where they are, the plan was to do a few earlier this year. I have written a script for one, but my health has just been really rough the start of this year, so I haven't had capacity to do it. But the hope is that in time I'll be able to do them slightly more regularly on the channel to recommend some romance-heavy books and also just some books that have got a sprinkling of romance in them for people who want to start trying to dip their toe into that kind of genre.
Well, look, let's end it there. I'll stop yakking. That was our celebration. So, guys, I want to thank you so much from bottom of my heart. Thank you for joining us today for a little celebration of the channel and how far we've come and how many good things we've had. We've had a lot of good wins, and you're right. We should feel proud of that, celebrate it, and be awkward about it. Ugh. Compliments, man. Ugh. Anyway, but look, just for a little bit of a comment bait. I would actually really love to hear from you guys. How has my work helped you? That's something I'd honestly really like to know. What books have you read because of me? Have you increased your reading? Are you helping other people increase your reading? What have you learnt? What's challenged your views of the world? What's got you thinking more? If there's anything like that, I would really love to hear it, because that is the goal. That's the point in many ways of what I'm doing here, trying to get more people reading and thinking. And if that's done it for you, please tell me how, because that would be invaluable encouragement to me.
100%. Please let us know if you have discovered any books or been encouraged to read any books because of this channel. Because those of you who remember our, the video where we did the tour of Michael's office, he's got a pin board with some lovely comments from you guys, and it is time for it to be updated. So I will be taking the comments on this video and updating the pin board with all your lovely comments and messages, thanking him for running the channel and for letting him know what books that you have discovered and what you've enjoyed and what you may have learned. So please leave lots of lovely comments. It's not as weird for me to ask as it is for you to ask, because it's weird if you ask for compliments for yourself, but I'm like,
compliments are weird, man.
Please compliment him.
Oh, and actually, I do one last thing. I do want to acknowledge this video was slightly inspired by my friend Sarah Ishii. This is an important distinction. I should mention this. So I reviewed Sarah's books, the Dynasty Codes, a little while ago, and I met up with her for coffee in January, and she surprised me with a big bottle of wine. And I was like, "What? I'm never going to say no to it. If you're friends with an author, generally speaking, wine is a good gift idea."
Or coffee.
Yeah. And I was like, "What's this for?" And she's like, "Mate, you published a book. Have you stopped to celebrate it yet?" I'm like, "Oh, well, no, but I'm really busy. I got more things to do." And she's like, "Make sure you stop and celebrate it, because how often are you going to publish 3 books? There's always going to be more work to do, celebrate your wins." And I was like, "Yeah, I'll get around to it." And here we are 4 months later, but we did it. We did it. I followed Sarah's advice. So thank you, Sarah. You're a good friend. And you should check out her books, guys, if you haven't already. They're really good ones. Yeah. Okay, cool. I think we're all done. Okay, well, we'll end it there. Thank you so much for watching. We'll have more book reviews very soon and much more adventures. I'm sure we'll do more celebrations in the future as we hit more milestones.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good things to come.
And we hope you enjoy a good book today.
She said the thing. Okay, we'll stop it there. Bye. Actually, can we do a whistle version?
Apparently not.
Concentrate, man. Come on. Sorry, we're going to start again, but in the right key. Goes out. Yeah.
Every night I lie in bed.
The brightest colors fill my head.
A million dreams are keeping me awake.
I think of what the world could be, a vision of the one I see. A million dreams is all it's gonna take.
I cannot handle doing the melody when somebody's harmonizing. I can't do it.
Well, that was fun. All right, let's stop everything. Let's stop before we just keep goofing off. Okay, good job, kid. Oh my god, it went for an hour. Okay. Stop trying to create bloopers. They have to be organic.
Believe it or not, I'm not trying. This
Nice.
is just, it's happening.
Yeah,
It's
involuntary
just happening.
blooper. Yeah.
Yeah.